Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. So today's video is 5 exercises for fat loss, but not in the way that you would think. Exercise numero uno, diet and nutrition. If you've not got your diet and your nutrition in place, regardless of how many hours you train, regardless of how much sleep you get, regardless of everything else that surrounds it that you think you would need for fat loss, if your diet's not in place and you're eating too many calories, you will struggle to burn the amount of body fat you need to see the relative results long term. Things become stagnant, you don't get the results that you want, it becomes inconsistent, and then the plan fails. So the first thing to look at is diet and nutrition. When we look at diet and nutrition, it's important that we look at a process that you can stick to that's going to remain you consistent all the time. Now, it's no good choosing a low-carb diet if you can't stick to low carbohydrates. If you're somebody who likes pasta, rice, potatoes, bread, ice cream, popcorn, and you want a low-carbohydrate diet, you're going to struggle to maintain that because you're going to reach out for the foods that you want. That is then going to mean over-consuming calories. If you're somebody who likes a higher fat diet and a lower carb diet, but yet you restrict all the fats from foods and you go on a low fat diet, again, it's not going to be manageable. If you're somebody who doesn't eat breakfast and you like to eat later on in the day, maybe intermittent fasting or something along that lines is going to be better for you. So trying to force breakfast down in the morning and eat 4 or 5 times a day, again, is not going to be consistent. So the takeaway point for this is find the right diet that fits to your lifestyle and your training. Exercise number 2, movement. Get around a little bit more, move a little bit more. Now, I'm not solely talking about exercise and training. What I am talking about is if you sit at a desk all day, get out of the desk a little bit more, go for a walk in your lunch hour, get a little bit of fresh air, walk to work where possible. If you are somebody who gets on transport for buses, maybe get off at the stop before and walk a little bit more. Maybe like cycle to work. Maybe meet friends and go for a drink and then go for a walk. Maybe walk the dog a little bit more. Generally get a little bit more movement in there, especially if you're somebody who's quite sedentary through the day. It's important that you increase your caloric burn throughout the day by moving a little bit more. Exercise number 3, training. Training for a purpose. So when we talk about training for a purpose, we mean training in the gym. Doing exercise for a purpose, whether it's moving weight, whether it's body exercises, body weight exercises at home, whether it's going for a run, whether it's joining a gym, whether it's going to a class, whatever it may be, again, that has got to fit in with you as an individual. If you don't like classes and you don't like being in a group environment, then maybe one-to-one approach might work well for you. If you're somebody who can't afford a one-to-one approach, maybe go to a gym and sign up for a small fee membership that allows you to get into the gym, attend some classes, do some instructed training sessions with other people, that you're getting that support and that accountability from a group environment. The key thing to remember here is, and the takeaway message, make sure that it's going to be long term and that it's something that you can achieve and stick to and be consistent with. Exercise number 4. Hydration. We talk about it all the time. People dismiss it. People don't like drinking water. People just get so frustrated and think, right, I can't drink water, so I'm just not going to bother. It's important on any fat loss journey and any health journey, just to remind you of the health aspects of this as well, that you're getting on board enough water. Water is important for cognitive function. It's important for the system within the body, all the cellular functions and things that happen on a daily basis. But more importantly, the more dehydrated you are, the more it will affect your weight. The more hydrated you are, it will not only affect your weight, but it will keep the balance of consistency in place. It'll mean you feel better, you function better, and generally you're going to have better cognitive function. Now, if you're somebody who's dehydrated one day, hydrated the next, then doesn't hydrate that well, and it's up and down all the time, and you're stepping on the scales, you're going to get a misreading on your scales. It's going to become a little bit of a stressor, and you don't understand that process there. The body retains water. So let's just try and balance out the consistency with water. Try and get enough water on board each day to make sure that your urine's clean, you're hydrated, and you're getting what you need. Exercise number 5, sleep and recovery. Again, massively important. When we look at sleep, people have this picture that 8 hours is the right amount of sleep to be getting on board. Well, that's not quite true, because when you look at the way that the body sleeps, it sleeps in hour-and-a-half cycles. We drop from light sleep into rapid eye movement into deep sleep, back up to the starting point, and that process takes an hour and a half. So when we look at sleep, we look at sleeping in cycles. And generally 5 or 6 cycles per night is efficient for the average person. If you're an athlete, you might need a few more. But then that looks over the week again. So if you're looking at 5 cycles a night, over a week we're looking at 35 cycles a week. 5 cycles a night in 1.5 hour cycles is 7.5 hours. 6 cycles is 9 hours. So you can see why getting up after 8 hours sleep might drop you into something called sleep inertia, where you feel a little bit groggy the next day, you make poor food choices, and things just don't fit right. So sleep and the amount of sleep that you get is important, but also the quality of sleep and the amount of sleep cycles that you get as well. Recovery again ties into sleep, but again take some rest days. This ties back into movement. Get some active recovery on days that you're not training. Walk the dogs a little bit more, get a little bit of movement. Again, hydration drops into water. So you can see why I've picked these 5 exercises. Now, if you've got any questions and you want to comment on this thread, please do so. If you've got any videos or topics in particular that you want me to cover, then again, drop it in the comment section. Please share, subscribe, keep the channel going, and I appreciate you visiting, guys. Have a good weekend.